Yeah, thank you again for participating today in this session. You will complete up to three tasks, and if time allows, yeah, we may include a short bonus test, but I think it's gonna be one or two tasks. These tasks are designed to reflect realistic scenarios, and there's no right or wrong answers, and this is not test of your skills, of course, and we're only interested in understanding how you normally walk through the task, and including how you use documentation, AI tools, search, or any other resources you prefer. And please approach the task as you would normally do, and feel free to use any tools you typically rely on. And as you are, please think aloud and share what you're doing and what you're thinking. If feels unclear or confusing, just mention it. And if you have any question, you are welcome to ask. And I may not always jump in with guidance since we are interested in how you like typically work through the task. I mostly remain quiet and take notes so that I can capture your process. And please work at a comfortable pace. And yeah, we already gave you the link to the task instructions and Google Cloud. And yeah, before giving you an instruction for task, we want to briefly introduce what the Vertex AI Studio is. And it is Google Cloud product where you can explore, test, and use AI model to build your service, to test the AI models. And please, we wanted to use it for your first task. And yeah, you are ready. And yeah, can you check the next slide for the task one? Yeah, first task is like created AI powered recipe assistant. You are we are assuming that you're a developer building a new wellness app. A core feature of this app is recipe assistance, which suggests healthy, personalized meals to users. Your goal is to identify the most suitable AI model in Vertex AI and create a visual prototype to demonstrate the user experiences. Yeah, please.
So when you say the visual prototype, is
Mhm.
it limited to a non-functioning demo, or does it have to have the backend also supported?
Yeah, it has to be full implemented app, but yeah, you can just implement as you much as you want.
Uh, where do I select the models? Do I
Mm,
have a choice of the model? So when you say choose the most suitable model, you mean to choose between things like Gemini, Claude, things like
yeah, things like that.
so
And
where do I choose that?
it's just free to like explore, does they have it or not?
Mm,
So could you like think a lot what you're trying to do?
I just found where I can change the model of the AI tool over here.
Mhm.
Uh, oh, it's really annoying how I can't move around my screen. Oh, so everything is limited to Gemini models. It doesn't include anything like Claude or OpenAI types.
You are on the Gemini sections.
Oh, I can't move this thing.
That's
No, that's the only thing I have. So there's a Gemini,
better.
Tune, or Lastest.
Yeah, maybe it's because of their Google Cloud services.
I mean, if it is limited to Gemini,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna start making a new model, I will probably pick the one of the most hard thinking, long-term, expensive one, which will be equivalent to Opus of Claude. Um, so it does seem like a Pro preview is the most advanced one for now, so I'll probably go with that one.
Mm.
especially we're initiating a new model. So there's going to be a lot of deep thinking on the planning side as well. And also, you asked specifically for a visual prototype. So we would definitely need that visual capability. And as of now, usually the only Pro models support the visual support capability. So I am choosing the Gemini Pro preview. I don't think it has the just Pro version. I think the preview one is the only one that I have. Oh God. Yeah, it's 2.5 models, doesn't have 3.0. So yeah, this one. And yeah, I'll go with the thinking model high.
Mhm.
As I said, this is initial planning. Definitely is gonna be worth it to invest some time and running time for it to complete a good model so that we don't have to go back and change a lot of stuff in the later on.
That's great.
And structure model top with specific format. Structured format, I'll just let it slide. We don't need specific formats like JSON at the moment. And the grounding, Google search. Yes, I don't think I will ever choose anything other than Google search anyways. Yep. So I don't know how I got into the compare model, but oh, so this is the compare. So we can't actually choose the model, can we?
I think so.
So it only has to compare. It doesn't let me choose what model I do. Yep, I don't think it lets me choose. Does it? Oh, here it does. Okay. So do a preview. So that's what we'll do. Input, main ingredient. Um, Actually, I think we can just give it everything. Okay, how about we just let it have all the information that you have given to me?
Mhm.
How do I run this? Oh, maybe it's not here. It should go here. Jimmy, and I don't think I have a quota for this.
Okay. I'm gonna just stop for a minute.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
So, ooh, okay. So I did run. Oh, I think it did not understand the exact um I didn't press anything.
Oh, great.
Okay. Starting over.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say an app, is it limited to like a web app or a mobile app?
It does. It has. It can be like anything you wanted to. Yeah, it can be web app as well. It does.
Mm,
Yeah.
Looking at the demo, I mean, and the instructions, it does look like a phone app. So when I asked it before, it was just giving me a prompt. So to give it a clearer explanation,
Mm-hmm.
I'll limit it to an iOS app. It does say I need additional access. Mm, AI platform. Predict. Oh, maybe this is why it was blocked in the first place. Do you know what permission I'm missing? Does anyone else experience this issue before?
No, it's actually first time, but yeah, it can be part of your lab problem solving. So I'm glad that you have this kind of issues.
You're glad I'm having an issue. Okay.
Yeah.
So you need a permission for the action, request permission, pick
Um.
access. So I would expect it to have
Mm-hmm.
a denied permission here directly, and I'm surprised to see I was not directed to the console to give this permission.
Mm-hmm. You need more IAM roles to implement it, to proceed. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't self-grant a role. So if I'm an admin in this IM, who do I have to give the permission to?
But it's our kind of personal account.
Oh,
Oh. Ah, I think it's you are still on your account. How about like trying to,
I just switched
yeah, but
to yours.
it didn't work. So how about like log in the new account that I gave you with incognito browser? Can we?
Is it your phone number?
It's not mine. Can we try with another way? Huh, it's rude.
Yes, it is a loop.
Got it. But when
Cut,
you
cut, cut,
are
cut.
trying to log in before,
I did log in. So
telling.
after facing the permission issue,
Mm-hmm,
it guided me to a troubleshooting guide and a reference page, as you can see on the screen right now.
mm-hmm.
But actually, this is a documentation that you would use when you are fixing the IM and manually giving the solution and permissions. However, it did not guide me or even let me select these IMs to the current role. So I don't think we can move forward with the usage of the Vertex AI at the moment.
Oh, got it then. If for this moment, oh, sorry, could you go back to the documentation page? Yeah, what do you exactly expect from the documentation?
No, documentation is fine. Documentation is giving me exactly what I need and what kind of a permission tree that it currently has. It's
Mm-hmm,
just that it should have been guiding me to the console or a UI that allows me to add or remove these kind of permissions to my role. So having this documentation is helpful, but what I really need is the exact console that I can actually add the permissions.
mm-hmm, got it.
So if you want, we can move on to task
Oh yeah.
2.
Well, yeah, I have some more questions. So does it mean like you are looking for troubleshootings, like help with troubleshooting in the documentation as well?
No, documentation. So, okay, there's two type of documentation. One documentation is
Right,
the
right.
classic conventional documentation where it lists all the permissions or all the methods or functions that this service has. That's what we usually call a documentation is. But
Right, right.
I think what you're asking is about the troubleshooting guide. And
Mm-hmm,
the troubleshooting guide is what I'm saying. It should have included a direct link to the console that I can add this permission actually.
mm-hmm,
So in terms of documentation, this documentation is great. Like it has a alphabetical orderings, it has an index, it has breakdowns, It's really nice. I'm just saying the troubleshooting guide should have included the link to the console because it's saying it's lacking a permission, then I would naturally want to go and add the permission. And that's the page that I want to go to instead of seeing this documentation right here.
Got it. And when for the newer users who's looking for this documentation about the IAM permissions, do you think like there should be a link to the troubleshooting guide for permission errors?
No, I think people who end up here, well, people who intentionally end up at this low level documentation, I think they know what they're doing. So I don't think you would have to include this here. It's just a troubleshooting guide to documentation is needed, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Then when you like if you after you succeed to like define what the exact role you need, so what would be your like ideal behavior after checking the documentation information?
First of all, I don't have to find out what permission I need to add. I already know what permission I have to add. That was already given in the troubleshooting guide.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the link to the console that I can actually add that was missing. I just
Mm,
want to point that out. So I don't have it still open yet, but it was AI platform, something prediction that I needed. Predict. It was, yes, it was this one. Yeah. AI
endpoint
platform
predict.
endpoint predict. This was the one that was missing.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it was excluded from the initial set of IAM on this agent because of this warning. I don't know what is included in the service agents, but seems like the what was it called again? Context AI? What was this thing
AI
called?
Studio, Vertex AI, right?
Vertex AI. Imagine Vertex AI does not count as a service agent, maybe, and that's why it was excluded from the set. So yeah, not sure how other people went past this permission issue, but yeah, I just wanted to point out that it was not the issue of which permission that was lacking. It was pretty abducted in terms of what permission I have to give it. It's just that the
Mm,
where part that was missing.
got it. And I think we can wrap up the for task one for right now. And I have some pre like F like no post interview question for you.
And
Yeah.
to answer your question, it was giving before we got cut off with the permission issue,
Mm-hmm.
you could see how it was giving me a like a text-based output.
Right.
But you specifically requested for a visual prototype,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I tried to add the word iOS in front of it
Mm-hmm.
so that we can limit the shape to be more um what is a portrait style instead of a web landscape style. And I would have been keep asking it for a visual sample
Mm-hmm.
before jumping into the actual prototype creation.
Mm-hmm. Got it. It's actually confusing to like every participants, but they like you can testing like you understand really well, but you're testing whether it fits your intended use by changing the inputs or parameters and observing the AI model responses through Vertex AI Studio. And the response you got is it would be the model API response you're gonna get if you're trying to use that model on your services. So that's prompt answers not gonna give you the direct visual output there. But
So you mean I will have to use like an emulator to see the visual prototype?
no, I mean that the task the first model selection and second prototype development could be like different can be implemented by different tools, not Vertex AI Studio itself. Just
Mm.
you may use like any IDE or AI or building tools you prefer, like emulators. So it's designed to be like use different tools.
Oh, but oh, okay. Just the instructions on the slide is a little bit confusing if
Yeah, right,
that's
right.
what you intended.
Got it. But
Because
you're
it
You did.
wouldn't be natural for you to ask to select a model of the Vertex AI Studio, and then on the second step, without any further instructions, you ask us to develop the prototype. So maybe you could have added that you're free to use any AI tools that you may like.
Got it, got it. I was trying to explain those things in the like verbally, but I think it wasn't clear enough.
That's okay.
But you did really great job.
Thank you.
And yeah, how would you describe your overall experience completing this task? One.
Um, about the instruction quality that I already mentioned, that's that. Um, I wasn't really familiar. I'm used to using some internal tools that I used at work. So it was first time using this Vertex AI or GCP in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was kind of really Google style.
Oh, got
It's
it.
it's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I feel it's more intended for a lighter user compared to Meta or Amazon comparison because especially in AWS, it's very not refined designed,
Mm-hmm.
but it also gives you much more flexibility and more specific tuning.
So you
So
mean,
as you
yeah.
could see in the model selection,
Mm-hmm.
it did not give you a easy way to select the model from the chat context window.
Right, right.
And if you see the counterpart that the Meta uses, we call DevMate, it's right at the bottom. It says model, and you can select all the models.
Oh, so it's
Also,
more
the list
intuitive
of
for developers.
exactly. So for normal people, for
Mhm.
regular most users, they wouldn't be going into and select the models.
Right, right.
But for specific cases like an engineer working on this, they would like to select the model. And also, it was unfortunate to see the models were limited to the Gemini series, which is understandable, but if the Google is actually trying to create a platform for the builders to build whatever they want to build, then it would be more flexible if they can provide some of the other companies' model as well, especially with the popularity of the OpenAI and Anthropic series. That would have been a great thing to see over there.
Hmm, got it. I'm taking note down. And so, so you mean since model selection and comparison are the core part of this tool, the Vertex AI, it sounds like the first UI should provide more like clear guidance or more intuitive way to do that, right?
Um, I mean, for engineers, and I don't think it has to be intuitive. It just as long as it's there,
Mm-hmm.
because we basically didn't have any other choice other than the Gemini series. So just
Right.
giving that choice.
Mm, got it. But yeah, I I just realized that I forgot to record your brief introduction. Could you introduce your experiences and tell us about yourself or your brief?
Oh, so I'm Min Kwan. I I I don't know how back I have to go back, but in college I majored in physics and computer science. And then I briefly did AI engineering in Carnegie Mellon. And after that, I was in AWS as a software engineer, a software development engineer for 2 years at a security platform called Guard Duty. And after that, I moved to Meta, where I've been working about a year and a half now. Yes, I don't have a card from Meta, but yes.
Yeah,
And
still have in my bed. Oh my god.
And yeah, and especially with the AI moving really, I mean, especially with Meta moving really forward on the AI native movement right now, we are heavily focused on using AI agents, using AI to boost the productivity and everything. So I think that's why I might have a little bit more expertise on these kind of AI selections right now.
Wow. Yeah, it sounds really helpful. And yeah, thank you for introductions. I forgot to having this like at the beginning of our research. And yeah, and back to the like post-interview question, was there any moment where you feel stuck or unsure about what to do next?
No, I was expecting more blocker as we go on to the healthy and personalized meal part.
Blocker?
Right. So in the instructions, it asked for a healthy and personalized meals.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was looking at this, I thought the healthy and personalized part would be the hardest thing to
It's
implement.
very right.
So for healthy, it might have a very different opinion per person that is using this.
Right.
So somebody might be vegan, and we can't ask them to have a steak as their meal. And some people might want to have a low carbs, high fat, and they might call that healthy. Or some people might want to avoid using those fats. So determining which, how to define this word healthy would be a challenging thing to do. Especially it's something that the user have to define, not what the AI agent can decide. So I thought kind of personalizing that would be a little the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say personalized, I assume that you're going to be memoizing some of the selections that the user made. For
Right.
example, if the user often opts for a salad or often prefers like beans, then the AI agent have to store the information in a tokenized way somewhere in the database such that when they run it on the other iterations, it can use it.
Got it. Got it.
And that was where I thought I'll be blocked upon.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, we could not proceed to those steps yet.
Mm-hmm.
So until where we proceeded, I don't think there was a major blocker.
Got it. Got it. So it was difficult to solve the approach because the like problem instruction felt unclear, right?
No, it was not. I mean, yes, it was a little bit unclear, but it was more of a engineering issue that we have to solve.
Got it. And yeah, thinking about the tools and information you use during the task, such as AI tools like documentation, or you didn't use search engines, but in normal search engines or Vertex AI Studio interface itself, what felt helpful or what felt inefficient or frustrating?
One more time, please. I didn't really get the question.
Oh yeah, thinking about the tools and information and interfaces you use during the task,
Mm.
do you get what feels like helpful or what feels inefficient or frustrating?
It was nice to see the troubleshooting guide immediately gave me what permission I was lacking and what rule I have to add it to.
Mm-hmm,
But again, it was lacking how to add that part.
mm-hmm,
Um, Other than that, I don't think we proceeded long enough to spot any more errors. And you mentioned I didn't use a search engine. And when I'm working with AI, I would usually stick to the AI. If I have a question, I would ask it directly. First, because it provides a context for the AI that I'm having doubt in certain area. And you might be concerned the number of contacts or like the number of access tokens, input tokens that the AI is having. But usually when I'm working, we have this feature called compressed contacts that it summarizes every conversation that we had and then move on to the next set of session. So I'm usually not worried about the length of the context. So
oh,
that's why I try to ask most questions on the AI itself, unless I'm very sure or I'm very doubtful that the AI is going in the wrong way. And then I would usually create a new session had to give it a fresh start.
So when you encounter an unfamiliar services or something you don't know, you tend to use AI instead of searching recently, right?
Yes.
Because you
There are
fully,
some cases,
yeah,
like
yeah.
there are some cases that I know what I'm looking for.
Mm,
Like if I know exactly where to find the documentation and exactly like what I'm looking for, then it's usually faster for me to just go in there to documentation and look for those.
mm-hmm,
Especially like ones with a very nice documentations like Erlang or Python, I would usually jump into
mm-hmm,
um the specific section because I know what I'm looking for. But normally, if it's more vague and if I'm more unfamiliar with the topic that I'm working on, then I will stick to the AI.
mm-hmm. So when we when we go back to the moment when you didn't know how to choose model at first at the prompt and you weren't like confident about how to use it, like if you couldn't find the right if you couldn't find the answer right away, would you ask AI in the case too?
Yeah, I think that's very good approach.
So like for example, like ask AI like how to select model on Vertex AI Studio like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm, interesting.
Especially, I mean, the great limitation about documentation is that you can't ask it any more questions. Only question you can ask is if it's to find something,
Mm-hmm.
like find certain keywords on that page. But with the AI, you can have more of a interactive back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
which can be extremely useful if you are trying to like do some little troubleshooting.
Mm. Right, right. For troubleshooting, like interaction or back and forth is essential. You're right. Good answer, Ringo. And okay, then if you could choose the format of documentations, for example, like step-by-step guide, short summary, or tutorial video for some example codes, would you use that options and why not? I mean,
So
do you
you're assuming there is all type of documentations already
have
available?
and what which one do you prefer?
Is
You,
AI out of the selection that is given?
mm, if it included, you would choose AI.
Yes.
Yeah. And if if we are assuming that the AI, some of the AI feature is like embedded into documentation and they are like integrated at some points. So
Yeah,
no.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
mean
think and
that's exactly how we have it at Meta. We
Mhm.
have a long list of documentation. At the top, it has a AI, like a
Summer.
chat box
Oh, got it.
that let us communicate, and that's usually very helpful, especially when we are looking into like health benefits, like financial benefits. It's usually challenging to use it on your own, and that provides a very good explanation in the beginning. But if, like, to answer your first question, if we rule out the existence of the I would usually go with the step-by-step guide because I feel the video is kind of verbose and I might not have um like a headphone in the middle of the office. And kind of like the one that we saw here, the classic documentation, it'll be very useful if I know what I'm trying to find, but if I am more of a troubleshooting time, then a step-by-step guide would be more useful.
Mhm. Got it. And a- about the meta documentation you mentioned before, the chat box on the top, is does it like can I ask, does it limit it to the context of that specific page, or can it answer based on broader context for whole?
So it does have that the page as a priority context,
Mm-hmm.
but it can answer any questions that you might ask.
Mm, got it. Mm, got it. Thank you. And yeah, next question would be if you had a magic wand like Harry Potter, what would you change or add to the documentation or AI tools to improve your experience?
Mm, honestly, I started with this kind of documentation only, so having those AI tools is already a great improvement for me.
Mm-hmm.
But since I mentioned the step-by-step guide, when you're following a step-by-step guide, usually the biggest blocker comes when you are following like halfway through the steps, and then when it says, "Oh, find this number after you enter this," and then if you don't get that number, if you don't get the expected result, then that's where you get stuck, and that's where you get really helpless and left out. So it would be great if you can kind of let the AI jump in the middle of the steps and then say, "Hey, I followed the steps until like 3-2, and you said I should get something ABC on step 3 by 3, but instead I got something else." If
Mm-hmm.
we can kind of give it that kind of um, input in the middle of a step-by-step guide, I think that will be especially useful.
Okay, so while we are going through a step-by-step guide, you'd want to AI to help along the way, right?
Right. If it can walk through me, then that will be great.
Yeah, it sounds really, really, really efficient. Got it. And yeah, and we move to the task 4, the end of these slides.
One machine learning or language model capability that could enhance the wellness app. Hmm.
Yeah, imagine that after building and troubleshooting your recipe assistant feature, you wanted to learn more about what the other machine learning or language model capabilities are available in Google Cloud that could improve your application in the future. So you are interested in how those tools might help enhance features such as content generation, personalization, or intelligence recommendations. Your goal is to explore the available information and identify at least one capability that could potentially improve your app. So use any resources you normally use, such as segmentation, AI tools, search engines, or any other preferences. Yeah.
So I was doubting like, so the app that we're trying to create is pretty simple actually.
Right.
We don't need, I don't think we need any, I mean, of course we need LLM because we are speaking into it,
Mhm.
but I don't think we need anything fancy actually, because all we're trying to provide is the ingredients that we have and then a recipe.
Mhm.
So basically we do need an LLM,
Mhm.
but nothing fancy. So you're asking,
Yeah, but feel free to like add any features you may want to. Like, for example, yeah, it it might be like maybe you were thinking, but for example, it can be like speech to text features, or because people are usually cooking using this app for cooking, and or for example for image to like text to find out, like taking picture of kitchens ingredients we have and then just like generating recipe like this. So you can think of this kind of any convenient features. for recipe apps. So anyway, that feature would require some AI functionality. So you're just free to explore what you wanted to.
So I'm trying to give it more context. So I just copy pasted the instructions that you gave me. So I'm building a new wellness app. The
Oh,
core feature
Gemini, right?
of this app is recipe assistant, which says healthy meals to the users with ingredients.
And you have to explore how Google Cloud supports this feature.
Yes, so I'm asking Google how to use Google. What machine learning or language model capability does Google or Gemini have for this app? I tried to search it directly into Google, but the answer that I got was not satisfactory, so I'm just gonna ask the
Hmm.
Gemini. It's just like when people say like, "Oh, I don't know what my manager asked me like want me to do," I said, "Oh, go ask the manager. He's the one who should know about it." So here, okay, so these models are multimodal. They can see ingredients in the fridge and reason. Um, so they say multimodal ingredient recognition. I think this is the one that asked about taking picture of your refrigerator and automatically detecting this. Actually, I did work on this, something similar in Carnegie, and the biggest blocker is that when you open the fridge, you can't see everything. So
Right.
some stuff might be stuck at the very back, some stuff is on the back of the sauce, like something in the basket. So would would be great, not ideal. Also, I think at the moment we said we are giving it the list of ingredients as an input, so we don't need this. Oh, I think this is exactly what we're looking for, the controlled recipe generation to ensure here I can actually use the Geminis. This will be very helpful to make sure it gives a proper recipe. If the recipe just says like, hey, prepare the ingredients and then like make a pasta, then it was not a good enough recipe. So maybe we can limit um kind of a format of like steps, like what ingredients you need in each step, and when you're using fire, like how strong should the fire be, or if the cooking time is estimated to be 30 minutes, I at least want an instructions every 5 minutes, something like that. That kind of control generation would be helpful to provide a higher quality recipe that we have.
Mhm.
Personalization, long contacts. So it does ask, it just talk about the 1 million plus token context window. I do I don't think we need this kind of high context window as long as we can compress the context. So let's say at the beginning of the usage, the user kind of uh, go back and forth with the AI, trying to figure out what it wants.
Mhm.
But in the end, if you can really extract what the user likes, so kind of like allergies, what the person likes and dislikes, like vegan, vegetarian, those kind of options, lactose options. Once you have that, you don't need all the other tokens that the user and the AI was having back and forth. So the dietary memory will be very helpful to keep this kind of things, as well as some of the preference memories. And with that compressed and putting it in like a README file would be enough. We don't need a million token. Um, Agentic workflow, I think the Gemini here is kind of mixing
Mhm.
of using the Gemini directly to be used as a recipe helper. I think that's why the agentic workflow comes in. But so let's move on from there. Real-time kitchen coaching, yeah, again, it's messing up like what it's asking to do, but that's a great idea.
Right, right.
For the people who is not used to cooking, having that kind of AI generated mirror view of yourself cooking in the screen will be really helpful.
Got it. Then could you pick one you like the most and try to exploring it?
Yeah, I think the most interesting one is the real-time kitchen coaching with the multimodal live API.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when you're cooking, you have your two hands are full. So it
Mm-hmm.
would be awesome if I do believe, yes, it has the microphone feature.
Oh, got it.
So you can use this multimodal agent for multiple things such as, hey, it's starting to burn, what do I do? Then it can suggest like add more oil, lower the fire, stir it more often, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's a live API, you can say, okay, I started the fire, what do I do now? And maybe it can give you like a timer without your hands. You can just pick into it. I put the ingredients in, I'm stirring it, and then you can say like, okay, like I'll count to 30, like keep stirring with that 30-second window.
Yeah, it sounds like great idea, and it seems like the Gemini answers is like stating that recommended model for interactive coaching is Gemini dash live dash API. So, what if you had to check that model or test or explore, and what does it have? Uh, explore to that model, what would you do next?
So I don't know if you remember, but when I was trying to choose the model, I accidentally stepped into the compare page. Do you
Mm,
remember that page?
yeah.
And it had left and right screen where you can enter the same prompt and see what each model provides.
Mhm.
And because we do need this live API capability right now, but initially we were leaning towards the 3.1 Pro preview. I will compare the two answers of those cases and then see if the live API is sufficing the request that we have.
Oh, assuming you use Vertex AI to test that model.
Right, it had the nice wrapper
Mm-hmm.
on the comparison. I mean, yes, you can just spin up two Gemini instances with each model and run it.
Ah, got it. You're right.
But the problem of doing that is even if you run same input 100 times, you will never get the same answer. So I don't know what the Vertex AI is doing in that compare page, but
Mhm.
I hope that it's keeping other hyperparameters same, such that we are actually testing the models instead of testing our luck in each run.
Right, right.
So that was the hope that I have about the comparison,
Mhm.
and that's why I'm going to use that instead of spinning up two independent instances.
So if you had to use that specific model on like if if this kind of task is your work and when you wanted to learn more about the Gemini Live API model from that answers, what alternatives would you consider besides Vertex AI, and would you normally just ask Gemini, as you said? Fuck, bless you.
Thank you. Yes, I would usually ask Gemini, but honestly, I if I if I know that I have to use the live API, then I really don't have much choice here.
Mhm.
But if I find out that I don't need the specific live API, then I would use whatever's newest,
Mhm.
most expensive, and
Mhm.
largest model that it has.
Got it. And when you had to use the has to start to use the Gemini Live API models, where are you usually gonna start? How you usually
What do you
start?
mean? How will I use? I'll select the model and start running it.
So let me support let me also let us awesome that. Hmm. Anyway, you have to like getting some endpoint or some hmm.
When I'm using the live API, I wouldn't be looking for endpoints. It's going to be the AI's job to look for the endpoints. If I'm going to look for the endpoints, I'm going to type it out and code it myself. Why would I use the AI agent? The whole
That is
purpose of
good.
AI agent is not to go into this like wishy-washy stuff on the documentation and writing code myself.
Right, but I mean, if you had to use that model only and you have to embed that model into your services, how are
Mhm.
you gonna approach to use it?
Ask Gemini.
Got it. So could you like trying to ask Gemini about it?
So how? Let's assume we need the AP, the live one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's literally what I asked. Nice. Isn't Firebase deprecated?
I heard of that.
Or
Oh,
maybe it's
Firebase
not.
is not deprecated. Firebase Studio is deprecated. I heard of it.
Oh. Okay, so it has exactly what we need. So it says add the Firebase SDK to your Xcode project.
Mm-hmm.
And let this code in.
Mm, quite simple.
AI is great.
Great. Okay, and if you're assuming that the answer suggests using Firebase something and but that feature is deprecated and no longer existed in real life, how would that have felt for you?
Too bad, but it has option 2 and 3, so I would go with option 2 and 3.
Got it, you're right. But it's gonna like affect your trust on Gemini answer, isn't it?
No, I mean, that depends on how much you trust the AI initially, but at this point, the hallucination of AI is negligible, and you always have to be careful what the AI gives you.
Mhm.
So we think of it as an intern. You can ask it to do whatever it wants and whatever it thinks is right, just that as a senior engineer, we do have to validate
Mhm.
whatever outcome comes out from it. So you can't get mad at your intern doing something wrong, right? So just like that, you can't be getting mad at the AI of doing what is not right.
So got it. You're basically using AI like working with intern for quick guidance, right?
Yes,
Got it. That's so helpful.
that's kind of a rule of thumb that we get.
Mm-hmm. Got it, got it. And so I think we can wrap up task 4 here. And there's a post-interview questions. Very quick. How do you describe your overall experience completing this task?
Um, Preparation was lacking
Mm-hmm.
with the supported environment, um, was not squared away
Mm-hmm.
with the it would have been much more smoother and nicer if we had proper supported environment like the Vertex AI.
Uh-huh.
Um, Although also the instructions were unclear, but if that was your intention of looking at how the interviewee continues with the unclear and
Right.
vague instructions, I think that was fine. Um, and I hoped to see more questions that were based on my answers, but it did seem like you already had a list of questions to ask and you were basically reading off them. But again, if that was the intention, that's also fine.
In terms of the post-interview questions?
Everything in the middle.
No, it was based on your answer, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, other than that, I think that was fine. It was just a bummer that we could not continue with the Context AI or Vertex AI. Other
Yeah.
than that, I think it went pretty well. I hope you got everything you need from this interview.
Mhm. And like question from now on is like pre-wrote in questions.
I'm not against them. I'm not against them. They just asked for the feedback, so I give them.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
don't be
And yeah,
afraid
I'm
to.
wondering at the beginning you search it on Google that Google Cloud Services, then quickly switch it to you went to the documentation once, like just for a few seconds, and then quickly switch it to Gemini and said you didn't get what you wanted from the documentation. So can I ask what was the reasons?
Oh, so I was looking for different models that it has,
Mhm.
but it started to give me a very elementary instructions about what is multimodal,
Mhm.
which I am already aware of, and that was not what I was looking for. So, and then I was looking at the left side column index of what the documentation had, and I realized I was in a completely different documentation that was more like an educational purposes instead of a technical purposes. And I was slightly lazy to go and find the technical documentation, so I that's why I jumped into the Gemini.
Got it. So it's not quite fit for your purposes. It feels like it's not fit to your purpose.
Yeah, if you
Okay, right?
see oh, maybe I closed it. Never mind.
Okay, then. Mm, right. But could you try to open that window again? Try to show what you got when you were searching for Google Cloud documentation because I it was like kind of few seconds I couldn't see.
Mm, I think that we search for this. Maybe this one. Yeah, it was this one. Yeah.
Yeah, right, right. How do you feel about this?
So here, like as you can see from the things over it says like it was a crash course. So it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be educational, not technical.
Got it. Hmm.
So maybe it's helpful for people just trying to learn what is LLM, but
Mm,
I already have knowledge base on this matter, so that's why I did not feel the need to continue on this website.
Yeah, what you wanted to just like identify what kind of large language models they have and some usage, right? So, hmm, got it. And thinking about the tools and informations, like you use documentations and search sometimes and Gemini for most of the times. What what will help? Can you tell me which point is helpful and what points inefficient or frustrating?
So I did mention I always use the most expensive hard thinking
Mm.
model. Output can be slow. The output might take longer than when I'm using the wider
Because
models.
yeah, you use deep thinking models.
Yes.
Got it.
But I do believe AI giving me a better answer.
Then
Um,
your own search.
yes. It's not the correctness.
Mhm.
It's more about the answer
Speed,
format.
format. It's very arranged.
Yeah. So this is the search result that I got from Google for
Mhm.
only a matter of split second. But again, that was exactly not what I wanted. And asking a Gemini, I don't know how long I waited for this, but it was exactly what I needed.
Mhm.
So I'll rather wait a few seconds instead of um, having to go back and forth and search for multiple sections.
Got it then. It sounds like a really good intern.
Hmm.
And great. If you could choose the format of documentation for this task, what would you choose?
Kind of like a Wikipedia-like pages would be nice.
Oh, or long text, you mean?
A long text with different paragraphs,
Mhm.
different sections would be helpful because we can't so things like this, like a technical one, if it literally lists what models it has, it wouldn't be helpful. I would need more explanations than this.
Yeah, so you mean you need some usage and example code models or examples?
Yes.
Got it. And though this question again, if you had the magic ones, what would you change for this experiences?
Mm, I would try to upgrade the understanding ability of the Gemini. As I mentioned earlier, I feel like it's trying to use the Gemini directly as a recipe recommender, but instead I wanted to make an iOS app directly. So maybe that kind of contacts or um, my intention was not fully delivered.
Got it. You want to enhance the Gemini experiences. Great. I think the questions are done. And thank you for participating, Mingwan.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah.